Good morning, everyone. I'm Zhu Lanhui from Nanyang Normal University, China. I'm very honored to have this chance to present my work. The title of my work is a re-examination of the validity of the typological view of Mandarin as a topic prominent language, a quantitative study. The objective of this study is to challenge an influential typological view of Mandarin as a topic prominent language. This typological view was proposed by Li and Thompson in the 1980s, and since the day of the proposal of this typological view, it has exerted a great influence on various studies, ranging from translation to language teaching to language learning and to language typology. For example, some studies may use Chinese or Mandarin as a standard to determine or to measure whether other languages under investigation are topic prominent languages or not. But the problem is, if this typological view is not valid, findings generated from these previous studies, which were done on the basis of this typological view, may be compromised, and the future studies may be also infutile. So it is very important to reassess the validity of this typological view. And as I've just stated earlier, since the day of the proposal of this typological view, many studies believed it is valid, while some other studies also challenged the validity of this typological view. And in these challenging views, only 3 relevant quantitative studies have been done. But as the concept of a topic and the range of topic comment sentences adopted by these 3 previous studies are different from the concept of topic and the range of topic comment sentences proposed by Li and Thompson different. Findings generated from these 3 previous studies can neither refute nor support this typological view proposed by Li and Thompson. And I understand that since the existence of this typological view, many scholars and researchers have carried out many relevant topic comment studies on the Chinese language, and these scholars and researchers have also provided their operational definitions on topic or have provided a different range of topic comment sentences in their studies. But it is important to notice that this typological view on Mandarin was proposed by Li and Thompson. So if we want to challenge or if we want to reassess the validity of this typological view, we should adopt the concept of a topic and the range of topic comment sentences proposed by Li and Thompson. So now, in order to make the findings valid in this study, it is very important for us to go back to see the formation of this typological view proposed by Li and Thompson. When Li and Thompson proposed that Mandarin is a topic prominent language, they first compared the topic and the subject in the Chinese language, and they believed that in the Chinese language, subject is not as important as topic in the Chinese language. Then they also compared the subject in the Chinese language and the subject in the English language, and then they also believed that subject in the Chinese language is not as important as it is in the English language. So they classified Chinese as a topic prominent language, while English as a subject prominent language. In order to identify topic in the Chinese language, Li and Thompson also provided some criteria and notions such as aboutness, sentence initial position, all the information, definiteness or genericity, pause or pause particles, which means just under one term topic, it covers a lot of different notions and criteria. But when using these notions and criteria to identify topic in the Chinese language, only sentence initial position has been consistently used by Li and Thompson. And in addition to the comparison of a topic and the subject and providing the criteria and the notion for identifying topic in the Chinese language, Li and Thompson also provided some linguistic evidence to support their classification of Mandarin as a topic prominent language. And this linguistic evidence is called topic comment sentences, TCS. And since time is quite limited here, I may not be able to elaborate on these 3 points. And if you are interested in it, you could read my newly published paper on Journal of Chinese Linguistics. And it is this paper has fully discussed the formation of this typological view on Mandarin proposed by Li and Thompson. And now let's move on to the linguistic evidence used by Li and Thompson to show that Mandarin is a topic prominent language, the so-called topic comment sentences. And in Li and Thompson's study, 5 types of Chinese constructions were used as evidence to show that Mandarin is a topic prominent language. And the first construction is shown in example 1. As you can see, 那本书出版了. This type of construction is with the syntagma of nominal group plus verbal group. And as I have stated earlier, the sentence initial position is the criterion consistently used by Li and Thompson to identify the topic in the Chinese language. So in example 1, 那本书, this sentence initial position nominal group was analyzed as topic, and the remaining part was analyzed as a comment by Li and Thompson. And example 2, 我书卖了. In this construction is with the syntagma of nominal group plus verbal group. And still, as 我 is at the sentence initial position, Li and Thompson analyzed 我 as the subject, and the remaining part was analyzed as a comment. And also that's why example 1 and example 2, constructions in example 1 and example 2 would be called topic comment sentences in the Chinese language. And also, the linguistic evidence used by Li and Thompson also includes construction. The construction, like in example 3, 我谁都喜欢. And this construction is with the syntagma nominal group plus nominal group plus verbal group with 都. And still, as 我 is at the sentence initial position, so Li and Thompson analyzed 我 as a topic, and the remaining part was analyzed as a comment. And example 4 is also a construction used by Li and Thompson to show that Mandarin is a topic prominent language. And many studies believed that this sentence initial position nominal group, as in example 4, is the object of 见过 in Chinese. And now, since the word order of the Chinese language is SVO, and now this object has been preposed to the sentence initial position. So this type of construction, as in example 4, is also named as object preposed sentence, OPS. So based on the criterion of sentence initial position, Zhang San would be analyzed as a topic, and the remaining part would be analyzed as a comment. And the last example used by Li and Thompson to show that Mandarin is a topic prominent language is 内场火，幸亏消防队来得快. And this type of construction could be described as a sentence initial position nominal group followed by a fully fledged sentence. And this type of construction could also be called Chinese style topic comment sentence. And so, still based on the sentence initial position criterion, 内场火 would be analyzed as topic, and the remaining part would be analyzed as comment. So, to sum up, constructions as in example 1 to example 5 were called topic comment sentences, and these 5 types of constructions were used by Li and Thompson to show that Mandarin is a topic prominent language. When Li and Thompson used these 5 types of constructions to show that Mandarin is a topic prominent language, they claimed that these 5 types of constructions are always frequently, highly, and commonly used in the Chinese language. However, they did not provide any hard quantitative evidence to support their claim. And also, as I have stated earlier, these 3 studies, which were carried out in 2000 and 2009, the findings from these 3 studies, from these 3 quantitative studies, can neither support nor refuse the typological view on Mandarin proposed by Li and Thompson, as the concept of topic and the range of topic comment sentences adopted by these 3 studies are different from the concept of topic and the range of topic comment sentences in Li and Thompson. Therefore, in order to guarantee the validity of the findings generated from the current study, first, the current study would determine the range of TCS, topic comment sentences, and the range of TCS in the current study is the range of the TCS used by Li and Thompson to show that Mandarin is a topic prominent language, which are the 5 examples that I have shown. And then the next step for the current study is to transcribe the spoken data from Date with Lu Yu. Date with Lu Yu is a famous talk show in China. It is much more like Ellen show, and I have randomly selected 50 interviews from Date with Lu Yu, and each interview would last around 42 to 43 minutes. And in order to analyze, I have transcribed the spoken data to the written form. And after the transcription, the next step for the current study is to identify topic comment sentences and to count the number of it. And then the next step is to count the whole number of the clauses in the transcribed data. And finally, we could generate the percentage or the portion of TCS in the data selected for the current study. And the findings generated from the studies can be seen from this table. And in this 50 transcribed data, I skipped one slide. After these steps, Okay, I would love to introduce the operational definition of clause so that findings from future studies could be compared to the findings of this study. And as this study is extracted from my entire PhD work, and also as my entire PhD work was guided by systemic functional linguistics, so the operational definition of clause in this study also follows the definition of clause in systemic functional linguistics, which can be seen in this slide. The functional domain of the clause in Chinese is very similar to that in English. It can be defined as the locus of the mapping of the experiential, interpersonal, and textual strands of meaning onto one another. The principal systems involved are those of transitivity, mood, and theme. And then we could look at the findings generated from this quantitative study. And in this 50 interviews after transcription, we've got 34,450 clauses, and the occurrence of the 5 types of TCS used by Li and Thompson to show that Mandarin is a topic prominent language is 956. And so we could get the portion of TCS in the total number of clauses generated from the data selected for this study, that is 2.77%, which means the portion of TCS is less than 3%. The portion of non-topic comment sentences is around 97%. So, with such a small number of occurrence of topic comment sentence and with such a small portion of TCS, the current study cannot support that Mandarin is a topic prominent language. And now I would love to make a conclusion. Guided by SFL, this paper has carried out a quantitative study in order to find out whether Mandarin is a topic prominent language. Findings show that with such a small number of the occurrence of TCS, which is 956, and such a small portion, which is 2.77% in 34,458 clauses in total, the current study cannot support this typological view of Mandarin as a topic prominent language. But of course, findings generated from this study are only confined to the data selected for the current study, and future studies could use the same methodology to examine data from other resources, from other registers, so that findings generated in future studies could verify the findings generated from the current study. And also, the current study is just a quantitative study, and future studies may carry out qualitative analysis in order to scrutinize the structural patterns of the topic comment sentences, so that we could further reassess the validity of this typological view of Mandarin as a topic prominent language. And hopefully findings from this study could benefit the relevant fields such as linguistics in Chinese, Chinese teaching and Chinese learning, Chinese English translation, and linguistic typology. And here are my references. And so much for my presentation. That's all. Thank you very much.